Looking up, though, warming back up into the 40s.
We love an optimist, Don.
That's
Sounds
right.
good. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us.
We'll be back tonight at 10. Have a good evening.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. On this broadcast tonight, we'll have a special report on America's homeless. The entertainer Liberace has died, and the America's Cup is coming back to these shores. We begin with what looks like a major victory in the war against drugs. A man who is described as so powerful a drug dealer in Colombia that governments have been known to cower has been captured and is on his way to the United States. As ABC's Dennis Trout reports from Washington, the Reagan administration is delighted.
U.S. officials say 37-year-old Carlos Lehder Rivas is one of the 5 leaders of the so-called Medellin cartel, the biggest cocaine operation in the world. It's named after Colombia's second-largest city, a narcotics center. Lehder and his partners are believed to be near billionaires from drug profits. Narcotics experts say Lehder is the most dangerous of the group. He's accused of being the force behind the killing in 1984 of the Colombian justice minister. He's threatened to arrange the murders of former U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency Chief Francis Mullins and the current spokesman Robert Feldkamp. His capture is described as a major victory in the anti-drug war. In Florida, Lehder and 12 others are charged with smuggling 58 tons of cocaine into the U.S. since 1979. Profits were so great that Lehder used some of the money to start a new national political party in Colombia. The capture of Lehder comes after years of apparent tolerance by Colombian officials of the narcotics business. But U.S. officials believe that the murders in Colombia of political figures, judges, and journalists may at last have provoked a backlash.
I think it's a significant step forward. Someone of this magnitude certainly indicates that the Colombian government is willing to play.
Carlos Lehder's extradition to the U.S. within a single day is virtually without precedent. He's being flown to the U.S. by military transport. Officials will try to keep him in a secret location until his trial in Florida. Dennis Trout, ABC News, Washington.
Still connected to the region, in a Washington courtroom today, a former officer in Chile's secret police pleaded guilty to taking part in a murder more than 10 years ago. A former Chilean diplomat, Orlando Letelier, was killed when a car bomb destroyed his car in Washington. The man who admitted planting the bomb claimed the Chilean secret police had ordered the killing. Reports from Iran say that the Wall Street Journal reporter Gerald Seib is going to be expelled from Iran and is going to be coming home. The Iranians held him, as you know, after they accused him of spying for Israel. Here's ABC's John McCarthy.
Iran's ambassador to the United Nations stated flat out that Jerry Seib soon would be coming home.
And to the best of my information, he has been released or handed over to the Swiss embassy in Tehran, and he will be expelled.
If there are no hitches, Seib is expected to leave Tehran tomorrow. Why he was grabbed in the first place remains a mystery.
They think it has something to do with the questions he was asking at the front, and he obviously stepped on somebody's foot or said the wrong word.
Government analysts speculate that Seib was a victim of infighting among Iranian factions, one trying to embarrass the other by using Seib as their pawn. In addition to talking about the American reporter, Iran's UN ambassador today also tried to justify the kidnapping of Americans in Lebanon.
Now, if you were a Lebanese, what would you do? I think you would do something in order to outcry, to make sure that your voice would reach the ears of those concerned.
He said Iran could help to free Americans being held in Lebanon, but would not. The wives of 2 American hostages taken 10 days ago arrived in Damascus today, seeking help from the government of Syria. Meanwhile, 2 American aircraft carriers continued maneuvers off the coast of Lebanon. There are 35 U.S. ships now in the Mediterranean. One of the carriers is scheduled to make a port visit to Israel on Friday, a good indication that retaliation is not considered imminent. John McCarthy, ABC News, the State Department.
Later in this broadcast, Liberace dies. We'll begin a series of reports on the homeless in America and the America's Cup. It is America's again.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight, brought to you by Tylenol.
If you get painful headaches, you should know that recently, people like you nationwide took part in the largest headache test ever. Extra-strength Tylenol against ibuprofen. Conclusion? Not even twice the initial recommended dose of ibuprofen is more effective than extra-strength Tylenol. And something else. Tylenol doesn't irritate your stomach the way ibuprofen can. If nothing is more effective for headaches, and Tylenol is gentler to your stomach, shouldn't your choice be Tylenol?
You may not associate the words round and plump with flattery, but to a pitted prune, it's the highest compliment. And this is the most gorgeous prune around, a delicious Sunsweet prune. Good looking, great tasting.
Dad, is there any way you could send the money today?
To send money fast, come to Western Union. It'll get to any of our 9,000 locations usually in 15 minutes or less.
Keep in touch.
Western Union, the fastest way to send money.
It didn't come as a surprise today when Liberace died. He'd only been hanging on to life for some days. His staff had categorically denied reports that Liberace had AIDS. He died, they say, of pernicious anemia, emphysema, and heart disease. Here's ABC's Stephen Gear.
Liberace did not look well last December when he appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show. He had lost weight, and he spoke of the significance of health.
That the most important and valuable thing in one's life is your health.
Yes.
And if you have that, you're a rich person.
In nearly 50 years as a performer, Blaju Valentino Liberace, an accomplished musician from West Allis, Wisconsin, became a very wealthy man by combining his skill at the keyboard with an unusual sense of the spectacular.
I feel that when I'm on stage, I'm sort of the ringmaster, and I'm in charge of the proceedings, you know, and it's a marvelous feeling.
His outlandish costumes ranged from the glittering to the grandiose.
You like this one? It's one of my favorites. It's not the loudest outfit in my wardrobe, but it's the most expensive. Yeah. You know why? Because of the buttons. They're real diamond buttons. Your arms open.
Liberace's costumes were less flamboyant back in the 1950s when he became television's first matinee idol, and the glowing candelabra on the piano became his trademark. One of his homes, the one in Las Vegas, was the setting for a music video, as the man who liked to be called Mr. Showmanship adjusted to changes in entertainment styles. Despite his flamboyance, Liberace's personal life seldom appeared in the newspapers. But in 1982, Scott Thorson, a former Liberace employee, sued the performer for $113 million, claiming that Liberace had reneged on a promise of lifelong support in exchange for homosexual favors. The suit was later dismissed.
I'll always think of you that way.
At his peak, Liberace earned $400,000 a week. He was the world's highest paid performer according to the Guinness Book of World Records. Musical critics did not praise Liberace for the ultimate in taste, but his loyal fans recognized a basic gentleness that matched his showmanship.
I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
Stephen Gear, ABC News, New York.
When we come back, what Baby M's natural mother said on the telephone.
When you have arthritis, mornings can be nightmares. Some days it hurts just to put on a watch.
Today, people are turning from aspirin to Advil for hours of relief from minor arthritis pain. Advil contains a non-prescription strength of ibuprofen, the medicine doctors have prescribed over 130 million times in prescription brands like Motrin.
Advil works for hours, and that makes mornings much easier.
Advil, tablets and new caplets, advanced medicine for pain.
Baby, we're gonna baby you. Kleenex introduces their brand new baby. Softer, thicker Kleenex tissue. We're gonna cuddle you. cradle you. New Kleenex will baby you because it's so much softer and thicker, even the box is taller.
Baby, we're gonna care for you, comfort you, baby you.
Soft and thicker Kleenex tissue. It's the new way.
Kleenex says bless you.
In today's world, a luxury car owes you more than just luxury. Today's Chrysler New Yorker gives you advanced front-wheel drive confidence, performance engineering, and is the only American luxury car with the impressive thrust of turbo power and the Chrysler Protection Plan. Today's New Yorker, even though you're in the lap of luxury, you're still in the driver's seat. Chrysler, driving to be the best.
It has been another emotional day at the so-called Baby M trial in New Jersey. The court, as you probably know, is trying to determine for the first time whether a surrogate mother may change her mind and keep the baby. What was so dramatic today was an audio tape. Here's our law correspondent, Tim O'Brien.
They arrived at court today for perhaps the most dramatic evidence of the trial. The tape-recorded conversation between a distraught natural mother faced with losing her child and the man with whom she had signed a surrogate mother contract, but had changed her mind.
Still, I can't live without her.
Mary Beth,
She can't live without me.
you heard us.
Spend the rest of my life in jail because I can't give up my flesh and blood.
Mary Beth Whitehead had placed the call in July from Florida, where she had taken baby M in violation of a court order. Bill Stern, the natural father, trying to get the child back, had made the recording without the knowledge of Mrs. Whitehead, who several times threatened to kill both herself and the baby.
I gave her life, I can take her life away. If that's what you want,
No,
that's
Mary
what I'll
Beth.
do.
No, Mary Beth, wait.
That's what I'm going to do, Bill.
Please.
You pushed me.
Tears streamed from Mrs. Whitehead's face as the tape neared its end.
No, Mary Beth, please don't. Let me call my lawyer right now and call me back in an hour, please. Please call me back in an hour.
I'll try, Bill, but I don't even know if I can hold on that long.
Please.
I really don't know.
Please, Mary Beth.
Bye.
Call me in an hour. Please, Mary Beth. Call me in an hour.
Bye.
Lawyers for the Sterns introduced the tape, saying they show Mrs. Whitehead is too unstable to win custody. Her lawyers said they only show how much she cared. Despite the momentous questions of law and social policy this case raises, lawyers acknowledge that given these recordings, who gets baby M may well turn on the more traditional ground in child custody cases, the fitness of the mother and the best interests of the child. Tim O'Brien, ABC News at the courthouse in Hackensack, New Jersey.
In Washington, President Reagan has lost his first big battle with the new Congress. The Senate followed the lead of the House and overrode the president's veto of the Clean Water Bill. On Capitol Hill, ABC's Britt Hume.
At stake is a $20 billion sewer bill Congress prefers to call the Clean Water Act and has passed repeatedly. The president's veto wasn't even supported by such budget watchdogs as Domenici of New Mexico.
I regret to have to vote to override, but I really don't think the president should have vetoed this bill to begin with.
We are very confident the veto will be sustained, but not on this bill.
The vote to override was 86-14, making the bill law and handing the president his first legislative defeat of the new Congress and one of his worst ever. Meanwhile, his attorney general ran into a Democratic buzzsaw in a Judiciary Committee hearing that was supposed to be about the budget but strayed widely from that topic.
Served in the United States Senate for 24 years, and bar none, this is the most anti-civil rights administration I've ever seen. Not accusing the Reagan administration of being responsible for racism in our society, but I am accusing them of creating a climate that encourages discrimination.
Most of the things that you've said in your political diatribe, you were just flat wrong.
Another Meese critic questioned his advice to the president that it was okay not to tell Congress of the Iran arms deals.
Mr. Meese, is it your view that the president is above the law of the land?
I do not believe the president is above the law, and the advice I gave is clearly within the law.
So, a tough day for the administration. But with the Democrats in full control here and the Iran affair in the air, the outlook is for more of this, not less. Britt Hume, ABC News on Capitol Hill.
When we come back, we're going to take a close look at what it means to be homeless.
Sink's clogged.
What'll we do?
Get the all-purpose drain opener, Crystal Drano. Works on hair, food, and grease. Liquid plumber may not work on some clogs.
Wow.
There's also liquid Drano. Remember, the one name to know is Drano.
Extra strength Bufferin for Steve's backache, Kim's legs, John's shoulder,
Debbie's Headache. It goes to where you hurt fast with an extra-strength dose of pain relief for headaches and a lot more. Extra-strength Bufferin, also in regular strength.
I'm about to offend a lot of steak lovers by covering this beautiful sirloin with ketchup. You wouldn't do that, right? Yet you'd pour ketchup on a burger. And isn't that chopped steak? Try A1 steak sauce on your burger instead of ketchup. Its herbs and spices bring out the natural flavor of steaks. It makes hamburgers taste like steak burgers. So don't cover it, discover it with A1. Then save the ketchup for your fries.
It began with a plan and the determination to go for it. General Motors made a commitment to build the highest quality cars in the world. They invested in the future, and now it's paying off. Today, GM brings you the result of 5 years of single-minded, dedicated effort. A 6-year, 60,000-mile warranty that tells you each and every GM car we built today is the best quality, best value GM car ever. The vision is paying off.
Look to northwest.
Even in towns like Bemidji, Minnesota, you'll find the red tail of Northwest. Northwest flies to over 200 cities all across America, all the way to London, to 19 countries on 3 continents, to Tokyo, our gateway to Asia. Nobody flies from more of the U.S. to more of the world than Northwest.
Look to us, Northwest.
On Capitol Hill today, the House of Representatives passed a bill with great ease. The bill will provide $50 million in emergency funding for the homeless. That is a pittance compared to what is needed, and Congress knows it. There are plans to provide $500 million in aid later this spring. Even if they had been so inclined, members of Congress would have been unable to avoid the subject. During this winter, many of Washington's homeless have been given their evening meals by volunteers right next to the Capitol. It is very hard to arrive at a precise figure for the number of homeless in the country. If it is as many as 3 million by some estimates, that is one homeless person for every 80 people in the country. 40% of the homeless this year are believed to be whole families. And it is with them that we begin to take a closer look than usual at something which wasn't supposed to be this way. ABC's Joe Bergantino is in Boston.
For Judy Ukiel and her 2 daughters, the afternoon walk home from school ends at a temporary shelter provided by state welfare. After leaving the husband Judy calls a heroin addict, they have been homeless for the past 3 months.
You just ain't got it no more. That's the hard part, trying to adjust to nothing.
She can find no job that pays enough to make her independent.
Yeah, I was checking on the 5-room apartment you had, 2 bedrooms.
And with rents in the Boston area among the highest in the nation, trying to find a permanent home is just as frustrating, even with the promise of welfare assistance. No different for Donna Karwowski, whose husband cleaned out their bank account and deserted her and their 2 young boys 6 months ago. Their only home now, this same temporary shelter.
I'm living in in one room with my 2 boys, and that's very hard. So we drive by our old home sometimes, and he asks me why we moved. I don't know how to explain it to him right now because he's so young.
The children in these families are too young to fully understand what's happened to them, but old enough to know exactly how they feel.
I feel like junk. I want to live in a house.
Joe Bergantino, ABC News, Lynn, Massachusetts.
It is amazing how often people who work with the homeless are asked a very simple question. Who are the homeless? Well, there is no easy answer. But the American Psychiatric Association says that somewhere between 20 and 40% are the chronic mentally ill. The scope of that problem began in the 1950s with something called deinstitutionalization. A decision was made to get the mentally disturbed out of institutions and back into society with active assistance. Since the mid-1960s, the number of people in mental institutions has dropped by 75%. But it wasn't supposed to turn out this way. Here's ABC's Betsy Aaron.
It seemed like a good idea, first to allow the mentally ill to return to society, and then to provide them with the support systems, community-based mental health facilities, which would allow them to function. Today, there are few support systems, leaving many mentally ill to fend for themselves, on the streets, homeless.
Have you ever tried any of the shelters?
No good.
Outreach social workers and psychiatric teams try to plug them into whatever meager services are available.
You could at least use some place to rest for a bit.
Yeah.
A lot of people treat them as though they're aliens or dogs or whatever, you know, but these are people that can't do for themselves, you know.
Sherry is like most of this population, homeless, no family to speak of. She suffers from schizophrenia. There is paranoia and there is a loss of contact with reality.
What happened to your money? I know you have SSI.
Well, I don't know. Nothing really happened to my money. I just spent it.
With care, these people could cope. They would not need to be institutionalized. If they had housing, if they had supervision or medication or someone to care, with money enough to provide the services. Betsy Aaron, ABC News, New York.
You know why there are homeless people, they tell you, on the streets? There aren't any homes. In the last 6 years, the federal funding for low-income housing has gone down from $30 billion to $10 billion. The estimates from one end of the country to the other tell us there are 4 million housing units needed. That's one house or one apartment. In Miami, for many of the elderly homeless, it was never meant to be this way. Here's John Quinones.
His name is Joseph Rapp. He's 68 years old, has no teeth, and can hardly walk.
Now, what's the worst part now, living out here?
The fact that I have nothing really to do.
Nothing to do in 6 months of living on the streets of Miami Beach. He says he's lost 40 pounds.
Look at that.
He used to have a family and a good job in Detroit until he lost it all a few years ago. He won't say how. He's old, tired, and penniless now, but intensely proud.
Now I don't want to be poor, but I don't want to be at anybody's mercy.
But there is little mercy. Miami Beach has no private shelters and no government funding whatsoever for the homeless. A tourist-oriented renovation of hotels and apartment buildings here has begun to push many of the poor and elderly into the streets. People like G.D. Maupin, 65 years old. For the past year, she's lived on a fenced-in corner of a gas station. We left her searching for food in an alley. A stark reminder that even in the land of sunshine and retirement, the twilight years are too often a time of loneliness and abandonment. John Quinones, ABC News, Miami Beach.
Well, if it isn't supposed to be that way for the elderly, what about the young? Somewhere out there tonight and every night, there are 1 million American children who are not living at home. It is said that more than a third have been forced out of their home by their parents, that as many as 75% end up making their living through some sort of crime. ABC's Gary Shepard is in Seattle.
He is a 19-year-old orphan who calls himself Sailor Boy. He's been on the streets of Seattle ever since he ran away from a foster home more than 5 years ago. And shocking as it may be, he's one of the veterans.
Heck, we've got 10-year-olds down here, 8-year-olds down here. But usually it's like 10 and up.
Sailor Boy is one of an estimated 600 to 700 homeless teenagers who try to survive here by panhandling, drug dealing, even working as prostitutes. Most were either kicked out of their homes or left because of abuse or other family problems. Finding a real job is almost impossible.
As an employer, somebody coming in, filling out an application for work, and you don't have an address. You tell them the streets. They're not going to hire you.
They often sleep in abandoned buildings or in alleyways like this one, seeking whatever shelter they can find.
Youth centers provide food and sometimes clothing for them, but the support system is overburdened, and most of these kids are likely to remain on the streets, in some cases into a second generation. Gary Shepard, ABC News, Seattle.
It is not a pretty picture in such a rich nation. Tomorrow night we'll look at what public policies have failed. In tonight's Money Matters, another record high on Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrials gained almost 23 points today. The trading continued to be very heavy. When we come back, the America's Cup. It is coming back.
If you could design the perfect coffee maker, what would you do?
Well, I'd give it a sophisticated look.
You'd want to design in quality, reliability, at an affordable price.
And of course, you'd want to give it America's #1 selling name, Mr. Coffee.
Introducing the newest member of the Mr. Coffee family, the International Design Series. Everything you imagine a coffee maker could be, and then some.
The 87 Yugos are here, and people love them.
I think it's fun to drive.
I like the rack and pinion steering.
We wanted a dependable second car. It's easy to love America's most affordable new car, the $39.90 Yugo GV. And now there's even more value during Yugo's Pack for Action sale. You can get sport wheel covers, a right side mirror, roof rack.
Great!
And a 3-year, 50,000-mile extended service plan.
Wow!
All at terrific savings.
I'll take it.
Hurry, this offer won't last long. See your participating Yugo dealer today.
Dad's bad, Mommy. Daddy's coughing like crazy.
Oh, you sound awful.
Give him my cough medicine.
Daddy needs something stronger than that.
When a strong cough comes on, adults need a strong medicine to help turn it off. Vicks Formula 44, the only liquid cough medicines with the maximum strength cough suppressant adults need in every formula for the relief adults want. Formula 44, strong medicine to help turn a strong cough off. From Vicks, of course.
Tonight on Nightline, he was for 3 decades one of the most successful, popular, and controversial stars in show business. Our focus tonight, Liberace.
And finally this evening, the America's Cup. This challenge is over. The Cup will soon be on its way back to the United States, and one American sailor, Dennis Conner, has been vindicated. ABC's Bill Blakemore is in Western Australia.
In the pre-start countdown maneuvers, Kookaburra chased Stars and Stripes through the spectator boats, dogging Conner's heels, hoping to push the 44-year-old veteran into some mistake, some weak tactical maneuver. But they didn't. Conner led them by 5 seconds over the starting line and just kept pulling away.
Square a little, Adam, please. Pay attention here, guys, please.
Conner wanted a perfect last race, took no chances today. His crew was kept on guard.
Keep your eyes open, guys, for stuff around the boat that might break.
Nothing broke, and Conner's clearly superior boat and crew won the race by 1 minute and 59 seconds. It was over. The America's Cup had been lost. And won.
Well, it's a great day for America, a great day for Stars and Stripes, and the crew is really thrilled to death, and I'm thrilled to be part of it all. We worked awfully hard for 3 long years, and it's hard to believe we really did it because of our team, a total team effort. A good boat without a good crew is not going to win, and vice versa. I guess it'll all come to reality tomorrow, but right now I'm just thrilled to death.
For the history books, Dennis Conner is now no longer the first man ever to lose the America's Cup. He's the man who lost it and won it back. A lot of people are wondering, are you going to hang up your sailor's cap?
No, I'll be around. I can't think of anything I'd rather be doing than this, and I can't wait to get started for 1991.
That's the next America's Cup defense in America. But Conner's next race is an ocean race in the Caribbean 2 weeks from now. His victory today was no accident. He'll be given the cup on Friday and fly it home. Bill Blakemore, ABC News in Fremantle, Western Australia.
That's our report on World News Tonight. I'm Peter Jennings. Have a good evening. Good night.
Wednesday, Love is Lost.
Dominique.
Sparks fly when an old flame reappears.
You haven't gotten her out of your system, have you?
It's a test of love on Hotel tonight.
When you play Iowa Lotto, you're the one calling the shots.
7, 9, 14,
and now you can win bigger cash prizes every week. Thousands of them. Just pick 6 numbers out of 36. Match 3, win a free play. Match 4, win $20. Match 5, win $500. Match all 6 numbers, and you win a jackpot that could be worth millions. Play Iowa Lotto. It's the game where you call the shots.
Midland? We're ready for more.
Together, we bring you more.
Can anything be done to comfort a colicky baby? Tonight at 10 on 5 TV's Health Watch, some answers to that question.
It again begins in about the second or third week of life. The babies do appear to be in some kind of stomach distress, and they'll often bring their knees up to their stomach and act as though they're in pain.
5 TV Health Watch with Melissa Wells. Tonight at 10 on 5 TV's Iowa News Tonight.